Dear students, today we are going to learn English grammar. The topic is figures of speech. Hi, Namaskar. So today we are going to learn figures of speech. It is always used, or this knowledge should be used only for poems, poetries, the poetic lines. It is not used in passages. Okay? So how many speeches are there? How many figures of speeches are there? Hardly 20 to 21. Okay. Out of which in 10th standard board exam, 7-8 types of figures of speech are mostly coming. But we are going to do the maximum. First one here is simile. Simile. So what is simile? Suppose one line comes in the exam. One poetry line comes in the exam and they ask you, identify the figures of speech and explain it. So which figures of speech is that we have to explain? He roars like a lion. He roars like a lion. So you will find that like word is used. So in this, what happens? The lion is personified with the word like. Okay? He roars like a lion. So there is a comparison between a lion and person. So the lion is personified like a person using the word like. So whenever you find like and as words are used, that means it is a simile. Clear? So here you get an example. I told you that if you find like and as, so it will be simile. So there will be a comparison or personification of one thing to the second. Clear? Next. Metaphor. Now what is metaphor? Metaphor is also personification. There is also comparison between two things. But like and as words are not there. Without like or as. Okay. So example. He was a lion in the fight. He was a lion in the fight. So the person is compared as a lion without using the word like. अगर दो चीजों को कंपेयर किया जा रहा है like और as वर्ड यूज करके, so it is simile. अगर बिना like और as से कंपेयर किया जा रहा है, पर्सोनिफाई किया जा रहा है, that is metaphor. The explanation will be person is personified or compared with lion without like or as. Okay, so this is the explanation for this. Clear? So this is an example, and the difference between this and this is these two things. Here with, like, and as. In metaphor, there is no like, there is no as. Okay. The man is compared with the lion without using like and as. Here, the man is compared with the lion using like and as. Okay. Next is personification. Example is death goes down before him. मौत उसके सामने झुक जाती है. ये ऐसे पटेली मारने वाले वर्ड्स होते हैं. Death goes down before him. इसका मतलब मृत्यु उसके सामने झुक जाती है. तो क्या मृत्यु कोई इंसान है जो झुक जाएगी? नहीं. So the death is personified as a human being. तो death क्या होता है? Inanimate thing. Inanimate death is personified as a human being. ये explanation हो गया. This is an example explanation. तो एग्जाम में अगर ये सेंटेंस आता है तो आपको लिखना है the given line is personification and explanation. उसके नीचे लिखो explanation और ये explain करो. This is how you have to solve. Next is apostrophe. Apostrophe is nothing but same as. So here you can take the same example. You can take the same example. Here the explanation is inanimate death or idea are personified. And why these things are done? Why these explanations are done? To make the poetic effect a better one. Okay, the poetic effect should be good. That is why the poets are using such figures of speech, and that is what we have to understand and write. Inanimate death or ideas are personified. So that is called apostrophe. So let's go further. Dear students, now the next figures of speech. Next figures of speeches are based on meaning. They are based on meanings. The previous 4 figures of speech were based on comparison. तो जब कंपैरिजन की बात आती है तो उन चारों के बारे में हम सोचेंगे. जब मीनिंग्स की बात आती है या फीलिंग्स की, मैसेज की बात आती है तो हम इन तीनों फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच को देखेंगे. सो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड द एक्सप्लेनेशन. The first one here is synecdoche. Synecdoche means understanding one thing, okay, by means of another. मतलब कहना कुछ है पर कहते कुछ हैं. You want to say something else, but you are using some different types of words, so that he or she gets the message properly. India won the match. Now I am resembling, or I am describing India instead of using team. Actually, the team has won the match, but I am calling team as India. That means whole used for the part. Team is the part of India, but the whole country's name is taken as an example. So that is how India won the match means the whole is used for the part. Sometimes the part is used for the whole. Okay, if I'm talking about my you hurt me. That means you might have hurt my hand. Okay, so you might have hurt my hand or some organ, but I'm telling you like you have hurt me. So me as a whole is a full part, is a whole part, but actually the hurt was with the one organ. This is how it is expressed. Sometimes the whole body or the whole thing is taken as an resembling part, or the part is taken as a medium of expression. So understanding one thing by means of another, that is part for whole or whole for the part. Next one is tautology. Tautology means same ideas expressed in different way. Example, he passed away and he is no more in the world. Both the things are unnecessarily used in the same line. That is what I have expressed here. Same ideas in different way expressed in the same line or same thought. So it is unnecessarily used. That means there was no need of writing again and again, but they have written, and that is why they are called as tautology. Next one here is antithesis. Thesis means words, anti means opposite. So when the ideas or the feelings expressed in opposite manner in the same line, when the ideas and feelings are expressed in the same line in opposite manner, it is called antithesis. Example, to err is human, to forgive is divine. To err means to do the mistakes, to forgive is maaf kar dena. So both the words are used in the same line, same thought. So that is why it is antithesis. Let's go further for the next type of figures of speech. So dear students, now the next figures of speech are based on words. Hi. So now the figures of speech given on the board are based on the words. That means we have to be very keen to observe those words which have a poetic effect in the poem that turns into a figures of speech among them. So let's go further and understand. Interrogation. Interrogation means when we find some sentence and which tells us about a question, but actually it was not a question what it says. The meaning behind the question was something different. So to affirm or deny, a rhetorical question is used. What is a rhetorical question? Oh yeah, really? Did you do that? So when we know the answer, but still we are asking, that is called rhetorical question. So when such questions are asked, example, who is happy here? मतलब कोई खुश नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी मैं पूछ रहा हूँ, who is happy here? Who's happy here? So when I know the meaning, I mean the answer, but still I'm asking the question, that is a rhetorical question. If you find such questions, give this explanation, and that is interrogation. Next one is exclamation. When strong feelings or expressions are expressed, example, ooh, oh, wow, ah, alas, and you find such exclamatory mark, you come to know that it's exclamation. Give this explanation. Let's go further. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. See the spellings. Make sure that whenever you write and identify the figures of speech, you should know the correct spelling of the figures of speech. So onomatopoeia. What is that? When some words are used which resemble with the sound, which are related to the sound, they are called as onomatopoeia. Example, the word convey sound. The words will convey some kind of sound. Example, the gun thunder. Thunder means kind of sound. The car rattled. So that is called the car rattled. So next one is transferred epithet. What is transferred epithet? Epithet means adjective. Adjective always comes before the noun. Adjective means visheshan, qualities. Okay. Here, he was put in a condemned cell. He was put in a condemned cell. So, condemned word is used for human being, but here it is used for the cell. That means jail. उसको एक अपराधी भरी अपराधी वाली जेल में डाल दिया गया। So यहाँ जेल को अपराधी बताया जा रहा है, ना कि इंसान को। He was put in a condemned cell. So adjective which has to be used for human being, it's used here for the cell. So that is why it is transferred epithet. The adjective has been transferred. Explanation: an epithet is used for unsuitable things or person. Let's go further. Now what is pun? P-U-N, pun. The word itself tells about a sound. Words related to sound are used for poetic effect. Example: blast, burst. These are the effect of the sound. Burst, zoom, burst, etc. Okay, these are the effects of the sound. Such effective words used in the poem lines are called as pun. Let's go further. Figures of speech which are based on words. That means they have got some different identity. So let's solve them. Dear students, now further the figures of speech which are very common and very much used in our exams. So let's see them, how they can be identified and how they can be understood from the examples. Next one is euphemism figures of speech. What is it? If you find any poetic line in which harsh feelings are expressed in a mild way, a strong feeling expressed in a very soft manner, then it is called as euphemism. Example: he has gone to heaven. He's gone to heaven. He is no more. He passed away. जोर का झटका धीरे से, that is called euphemism. Next is climax. Climax means those figures of speech, those poetic lines which tells you about a sequence which is in ascending order. Okay? The words are arranged in ascending order for poetic effect. Example: he was born, brought up, served and died. तो वो पैदा हुआ, बड़ा हुआ, पाला पोसा गया और फिर वो मर गया. That means from the beginning to the ending. This is called climax. Next, here opposite things will be the words are arranged in descending order. Why? For poetic effect. Because every effect is for poem only. The example can be just opposite to it. He died. Born. Proved himself. That means rebirth. Okay. He died, reborn, and proved himself. That means he died, and then rebirth, and then he proved himself by his work. So such examples can be understood as a anticlimax. That means the things are going in opposite manner. Anti means opposite. Anti means opposite. So when the sequence is given in a descending order, so we can take it as a anticlimax. Next is inversion. Inversion means the sentence or the lines have unarranged words. The words are not arranged properly in a line of the poem for poetic effect. In explanation, you can express yourself in your own way, but the idea should be clear. The sentence lines have unarranged words, unarranged. It's unarranged. The arrangement is not proper. Example. 20 summers did he live. 20 summers did he live. ऐसा होना चाहिए he did live 20 summers. मतलब वो 20 गर्मी के सीजन देख चुका है, मतलब वो 20 साल का है. तो इस बात को कैसे आड़ा देगा. जैसे in English we normally say that I want to go to school. So instead of saying I want to go to school, I am saying to school, want to go, I. To school, want to go, I. So this is just jumbling. So when such words are jumbled, just for poetic effect, they are called as inversion. That is why they are not arranged, they are unarranged. Or you can write the words are not arranged properly. The words are not arranged properly in the given line. Next is alliteration. Alliteration means letters. Alliteration means letters, alphabets. So when you find the beginning letters of two or more words are repeated. When the letters are repeated, example, la la la, ma ma mo, ta ta ta, tic tac toe, dim dam dum, like that. So when the first letters are repeated in two or more words, it is called as alliteration. Example, glittering, gloomy glades. Glittering, gloomy glades. So G, G, G is repeated. So the first letter of many words has been repeated. That is why it is called as alliteration. Next one is repetition. Repetition is when words are repeated I have seen that. I have found that I've observed when I'm checking the papers, answer sheet of the students, I have found that they are making mistake in this word, repetition. Okay. Repetition, they write repeat spelling and then write shun. So don't write like that. This is the correct word, repetition. So what do you find here in repetition? The words are repeated. Here in alliteration the letters are repeated, but in repetition the words are repeated. The words are repeated in the line. Just for poetic effect. Example, alone, alone, all alone. Alone, alone, all alone. So alone, alone words are repeated, that is why it is called as repetition. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 5, 11. 11 plus 4 becomes 15. So 17 to 18. 17 to 18 figures of speech we have come across, and I tried to explain you as better as I could. But if you have not understood, you can WhatsApp, call, of course me, and then you will get the answer back. Or else you can Google it up. You can surf on your browser. You can search in YouTube. There are many videos. All types of videos you will find on YouTube. Whether it is your English or Hindi, Marathi, all subjects related videos you will find. So whenever you have time, you want to be online, go for those things which are useful in your life. Don't waste your time much in unwanted or unnecessary things. Example, movies and social websites. Okay, because you might be busy there for your entertainment purpose, but you don't calculate that how much time you are spending in that direction. Now, of course, your energy is wasted, and finally, when you come back to your studies, you don't find yourself potential. You are not able to study and concentrate. For that reason, whenever you have time, give your time towards the need you have. So, thank you very much for your cooperation. God bless you. Bye bye.